Why should everyone watch me compete at Singapore T100? Because I'm either going to absolutely smash it or absolutely blow my gasket off. So you get one or the other. We'll see what happens.
It's like I'm still too scared to say out loud that I want to be a world champion.
The T100 Triathlon World Tour. The sport's greatest competition returns.
Let the games begin.
Last season showed this is not for the faint-hearted. Athletes were pushed to breaking point. The world witnessed what it takes to compete at this level.
It was a 2-kilometre swim and it took 14 minutes.
This is the T100 and I am buzzing.
This season, for any athletes bold enough to step on the start line, there are no illusions. The stakes have never been higher. The sports elite will battle across the globe. $7 million on the line. And the chance to be crowned a T100 world champion. And it all begins here, Singapore.
Let the games begin.
An iconic race, known for its drama and unrelenting intensity. Perfect stage for the first test of the season. The T100 is back, and the countdown to Singapore starts now.
Let the games begin.
Come on!
Whilst the T100 pros take the sport by storm, they're not doing it alone.
Grateful to be here. We get to do this.
Across the globe, in ever-increasing numbers, people from all walks of life
Let's go, baby!
are zipping up their wetsuits.
We're gonna go so fast.
Clicking into their pedals.
You're not having fun, you're doing it wrong.
And lacing up their running shoes.
Baby!
Good job, everybody!
For their very own T100 experience.
3 words would be should train more.
From first-timers to well-seasoned endurance athletes.
T100!
All are helping to shape this growing community.
I'm a triathlete, man! Yeah!
But long before the crowds return to the Lion City and personal or professional victories are made, comes the calm before the storm. In the quiet outskirts of Brisbane, Australia, is Ashleigh gentle. After falling short last year, she is determined to claim a world championship, set the tone for the season with a win in Singapore.
Josh has roasted these 4 coffees here. There's a bit of variety. I generally like Josh's coffee better than most stuff that we've ever bought. Dubai, that seems like a really long time ago already now, but it's flown by. I definitely feel like it was a bit of a missed opportunity because I definitely feel like I should have won that race. I just felt like I had such good momentum, and I felt like the training that I'd been doing indicated that I could be running, like a really fast run, like a 102 or a 103. So, I mean, to be stopped to a walk, it was pretty humiliating.
Yeah, here we see Ashleigh Gentle. She looks like she's in real trouble now.
Heartbreaking. Come on, Ash. Come on. It's a kilometre and a half to go.
You gotta keep going.
She has given her everything. She's taken all the risks.
And obviously that was pretty much the worst case scenario, but it's just what happens, you know. Yeah, it's pretty hard to swallow because, you know, everything was going pretty well up to about 2 or 3K to go. But those are the moments you learn from. I think that, yeah, I'll try not to think about it too much, but it's definitely fire in the belly for this year.
Yeah, for Tampa, that's sick.
It's a 10-step process for a coffee puck. We've started training later, but we're already sort of seeing Ash hit some really good performance markers much earlier than she would be in a traditional preseason build. That's a good sign for her headspace heading into the season. I'm pretty happy with where she's tracking in the swim. That's my department in the swim. You know, Singapore's the first race of a long season, so we'll be looking to chip away and make some gains throughout the year as well.
I think the T100 tour last year played out somewhat to my expectations. You know, I knew that it would be a really difficult series. I knew that it would be hard fought. I was able to dig deeper than I thought I would be able to. So in that regard, I exceeded some expectations of myself. And like I said earlier, it's really motivating for me to see that side of myself and know that I'm still willing to put 100% in it and still look for ways to be faster this year. No, 8. It's 8.
Oh, well, 8.
How many years bad luck are traditionally attached to breaking mirror? Phone a friend.
Why are you saying 8?
Because I think that's how many years it is.
Okay.
I think I'm right.
I always thought it was an odd number.
I think it's 8. I was just saying to a friend, it's really hard to answer the question of how my training's going because I feel like it's been a bit of a grind. I've been in a bit of a big block after coming off a break. I kind of hit the ground running pretty quickly, and I find training in summer in Queensland really demoralising most of the time. So, I mean, there's definitely been some good parts, and especially in the swim, I've surprised myself a little bit. The bike's been fairly good, and the run too, just like, you know, bringing up the hours and Ks each week, like fairly quickly. But I mean, you know, it's hard to hit pretty fast paces at the moment when it's so hot and humid. But it's literally like this for me every single year. Every year it's the same. I kind of have not much confidence in my fitness at the start of the year. And although I am sometimes a little bit rusty pretty early on, I feel like training in these conditions actually, get you quite strong and a lot fitter than you think you are. Oh my goodness. It's a bit hot.
It's always a hard process getting your suit on.
It's not usually a hard process, but in the middle of summer in Queensland, it's not a normal thing to be putting on a wetsuit, so it's very sticky. Hey Josh, can you help me put this on?
She's too sweaty.
I'm so sweaty. The energy in training and racing for me is sometimes pretty different, but I actually think that is one thing that I have already improved on in 2025. Like, I've only been training for, it feels like, a month now, but there's definitely been sessions where I would say that I've kind of gone into them with a bit more vigour, you know, given it a red hot crack a bit quicker than normal. Definitely had some really good energy into some of the training lately. Definitely surprised Josh a bit, in a good way. At this time of the year, it's really easy to sometimes just kind of get bogged down in the grind of the Queensland summer. It is so tough to train in these conditions. Singapore is definitely one of the hardest races on the circuit. It's one that you have to definitely train pretty specifically for. You can't go there unprepared. You have to be ready for the heat and humidity. I like the heat, so it gives me motivation to go into a race like Singapore because I feel like I can thrive and hopefully the other athletes can hurt a little bit more than me.
Good chance to use the wetsuit in the open water, but also good heat training.
Watch out, lady, I'm coming in. All right, let's go. Yeah, I feel really proud to be able to be going into 2025 as a contracted athlete and have survived the cut and the ruthlessness that comes with the high performance nature of the sport. Yeah, I'm proud to be part of the cohort that gets to race around the world this year. I mean, it's a pretty select group of athletes that get to do what I do. And like I mentioned before, it's about taking each of these opportunities and knowing that, like, this is such a big privilege to have. Best thing about Coles is the Vegemite scrolls. And if you don't like Vegemite, have it with some cheese, some avo. So to give anything other than like 100% is just like, what's the point? So I guess I've got an attitude that, you have to go all in, and I have these opportunities. So take them with both hands and give it all I've got while I can. The advantage I have for Singapore this year is that, I've done it the last 2 iterations of the race and I have won both races as well. I've won it 2 completely different ways. Singapore is definitely one of the hardest races on the circuit. You can't go there unprepared. You have to be ready for the heat and humidity, knowing that I can race well in the conditions that Singapore serve up. I know the course exceptionally well. Well, I like the heat. It's probably the most brutal test. It would definitely hurt to lose the title of T100 Singapore champion.
Ash Gentle just eyes on her.
I would like to go into a race like Singapore thinking that I would definitely have an advantage. I'm going to be prepared.
I'll be coming for you.
It's probably normally
Do you reckon it's going to be hard to get on? Do you want to hold that?
really hard. Just go Harry hard for a second.
The goal for 2025 is to try and become the T100 world champion. And yeah, that's it. To be in top shape all the way to December is, in my opinion, impossible. So you have to have a good planning strategy in place to be able to nail 4 before Qatar, so you're not trying to catch up too much at the grand final. We know what we're in for, and if you're racing a series like that and you're competing at the highest level against the best athletes in the world, you are going to be tired and you are going to be exhausted, and that's just part of being a professional athlete. It's hugely competitive to stay inside the top 10 of the T100. I mean, it's cutthroat. At the end of last year, there was people that, automatically got contracts. A lot of people that just got chopped. They just didn't make the cut. But at the end of the day, it's high performance sport. I mean, that's just part of it. Even if it doesn't seem fair, there has to be a line in the sand somewhere. Everyone's fighting to try and stay at the top because everyone wants to be part of the series. And that's been pretty clear to me. So, yeah, it's definitely extremely competitive and everyone's fighting for it. I've seen the ladies that are racing the T100 for 2025 and it's pretty insane. I mean, it's going to be really, really difficult. Got some women that have raced the T100 the last few years that are super experienced. I feel like the threats are going to be coming in thick and fast. I feel like someone like Lucy Charles-Barclay definitely wants to get a T100 win. She's an exceptionally competitive person and she'll definitely want to go into 2025, try and get that win across the 100K distance.
Second at Miami, second here at Singapore.
Jack, what does this woman have to do to get first place at one of these races?
There's also a few women coming across from short course that could be really strong across this distance too. Coming back, like Flora.
The Olympic gold medalist, she's going from strength to strength in 2024.
Julie Deron converted to the T100 distance with absolute ease.
Julie Deron burst onto the scene and showed that if she can find herself close enough off the bike, she can win.
And Kate.
Kate Roth, she's really solid in every discipline. She's strong in all three.
They took their T100 contract for a reason, right? They want to be on the podium and they want to be winning these races. So it would probably be the most competitive year to date. I'm going to go out there with high expectations of myself. I'm just going to be aiming to try and be really consistent across the swim, bike and run. And yeah, I think that they'll notice that I'll feel pretty at home. I'll be enjoying it no matter what, I think. There's definitely a lot of women that are going to be vying for that top spot that kind of want to shake things up. So it's another year of trying to fend those people off.
It's pretty early into the season, obviously, but I feel like this off-season I want to just attack it a bit more. I feel like I'm going to go into 2025 with a bit more of a all-in and just give it everything without worrying too much about any expectations. I think it's shown in my training a little bit already in the sense that I've just been determined to kind of get going and I've hit the ground running pretty quickly. Like I mentioned, I sometimes am worried about, hitting certain targets early in the year, and sometimes I'm scared to, hit the next challenge and worry that I'm too unfit to kind of give, a session a go, or I worry about that too much, but I feel like already I'm seeing myself in some circumstances where I've kind of just let that go a bit more. Yeah, it feels good to be able to do that.
I'm going into 2025 with a better attitude. I want to be able to just go for that win. I want to be able to go for that T100 World Championship title. I feel like what I did last season was pretty good. I've won some really big races. It doesn't mean I won the T100 World Series. I kind of say that I don't care what people think, but then it's like I'm still too scared to say out loud that I want to be a world champion. So that's what I'm going to plan for. I have to be more consistent. I can't really have too many bad days. It means you're putting a lot on the line, and that means you can have less bad days. I'm going to go into more races knowing that they're my A races. You also have to win, and win often. It's going to be extremely difficult, but in this type of series, you have to be ambitious and you have to be able to put it all on the line. So you do have to win pretty much most races you enter if you want to try and become the world champion. So that's my goal.
Miles away, in the heart of Abu Dhabi.
Well, one name dominates the start list, the man wearing one, Hayden Wilde of New Zealand.
A rising force that will enter the world of the 100-kilometre distance.
Sorry, guys.
You certainly can't say that Hayden Wilde wasn't relaxed. Doing a selfie with a fan mid-interview.
Yeah, choppy, a lot of current, a lot of wind. Makes it exciting, doesn't it?
With skill and swagger to shake up the scene.
Yeah, Hayden Wilde comes out looking to start the season with a win. It's a big year for him. We know he's going to be in the T100 series as well.
He's not just fast, he's electric. Hayden Wilde, a man on a mission, ready to take on the T100 series and leave his mark.
The Men's World Triathlon Championship Series is underway. So the big question is, how far back is Hayden Wilde? That average I mentioned, 28 seconds off the pace.
We have seen Hayden Wilde close down those kind of gaps on his own.
Hayden Wilde has erased the deficit from the swim.
Hayden Wilde at the front though. Again, this is a great spot here to try and test the other athletes.
And you know it's in his mindset. You know he's not going to be satisfied with just riding around for another 3 laps.
And it doesn't seem to affect how he runs, no matter how hard he bites.
Just over a lap to go, and Wilde's aggression once again paying dividends by the look of it. It happens in the blink of an eye. 1 minute they're shoulder to shoulder, and the next, Wilde's away and gone. You're talking about competing with, well, arguably the second best triathlete on the planet. Hauser is not giving Wilde an easy ride. He's making him work. You can see the grimace as he comes onto the blue carpet. He's going to start 2025 exactly the same way he finished 2024, with a World Triathlon Championship Series victory.
Phenomenal race and a special season coming up, no doubt.
T100's up next in Singapore, so I'm looking forward to racing the long course boys and the mid course boys.
Do you think it's possible for Wilde to win the World Championship Series and the T100 too?
Martin Van Riel, Kyle Smith, there's so many great athletes that are consistently good over that distance. It's going to be tricky to do both.
If anyone can, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Hayden Wilde could.
If I can beat anyone, I hope it's maybe Hayden Wilde. He's one of the most interesting prospects.
Hayden, race the T100 World Tour. This man wants a piece of you.
Probably next year there will be a couple of new guys that get thrown into the mix. Whoever steps in the ring can get knocked out.
Hey guys, Hayden Wilde here, and I'm absolutely stoked to announce that I'm going to be racing the T100 series for 2025, and hopefully challenge my mate Martin for his T100 title. I'm just outside his house in Moonhout. Yeah, I guess the mind games start now. Have a good Christmas, Martin. We'll see you next season.
Welcome to my Airbnb.
Thanks, man.
I'm Hayden Wilde. I'm 27, 3-time exterior world champ, 2-time Olympian. The Olympic medal in Tokyo was pretty cool for New Zealand, you know. I'm looking forward to stepping up distance into the T100 series.
No, that's disgusting.
Do you not like it?
No, I don't like it at all. Oh no, yeah.
You crumble it and then you put it in. Or sometimes you add like hot water.
I just eat that and then hopefully nobody finish my chocolate.
Oh yeah, the chocolate's well finished.
Oh.
It wasn't me, it was Brittany.
God damn it.
I think the T100 series, why it's appealing for me and why T100 series is it's 18K, so when I blow up at 15K, I've only got 2K to go, so I'll be sweet. Triathlon's more than a sport, like it's a community, it's a lifestyle for a lot of people. For me, it's it's a hobby and it's my job, which I'm super lucky to have and super fortunate to do. And going to a T100 series, which I'm looking forward to going to. The hype around that I think is really, really cool. Like the age group community is really, really cool, and it kind of hypes us up as well.
Oh, it's probably getting blisters now without socks.
Getting amongst like really nice people and like-minded people and challenging, environments, I think is really cool. Looking at the season last year, and there was definitely some races I would love to be at. Like watching, the boys having a sprint finish in San Fran.
Oh my goodness!
And then that race in Ibiza with Sam and Martin.
Undefeated streak remains. Martin Van Riel, your 2-time T100 World Tour champion.
Singapore as well, people are just dropping like flies.
The T100 series, it is a brutal tour where you just have to have everything right if you want to win.
So I was like, man, I just love to suffer, so I'd love to be in there and just kind of get amongst that action.
Yuri, newsflash, you're not going to see anyone.
He came here to win. The biggest win of his career. He collapses.
He has given it absolutely everything that he had today.
Ideally, I really wanted to kind of get a wild card into some of the races, but it just wasn't meant to be. But there was definitely some, I was definitely like, man, this is going to be pretty sick next year. So, looking forward to finally being in the series and giving it a good crack.
What the heck are you? I just turn up to racing. I actually don't train. No, this is my training.
Yeah, where the races are set are pretty sweet. Like obviously going straight to Singapore. I've raced in Singapore before and really enjoyed it there. The culture, the people are super nice. Obviously Vancouver, I really like Vancouver, and it's like a little slice of New Zealand there as well with like the evergreen forest. It's one of the only places that have evergreen forests other than New Zealand, which is kind of cool. And then, you've got obviously London, which is sweet. Heading into the French Riviera, which is quite close for me as well. It's close to Andorra, but I train a lot on the French Riviera in Antibes with my swim coach, which is cool. And then obviously finishing up in Dubai and Qatar for me is going to be cool as well. So I got some big numbers of races lined up, so looking forward to racing them all. Yeah, so my previous T100 series was the Collins Cup. It could have gone better. I remember I did Commonwealth Games and I was obviously in really good shape and got my TT bike 3 weeks before the race.
That's hero. That's part of the hell of it.
2 days after the Com Games, I was bedridden for about a week. And then I had a 2-week preparation into Collins Cup.
Ray, you feel ready?
And then they decided to team me up against Ben Canute and Christian.
I guess it's lucky we've got our own Olympic medalist, Xterra world champion, young superstar Hayden Wilde.
Hayden, come on up! Which wasn't really fun because I was probably like 6 kgs underweight.
Christian Blumenfeld and Hayden Wilde is match number 7. He gets the cheers. Is that true that you wanted the match-up and now you're in his crosshairs? How are you feeling standing here?
Oh, it's been a minute. I've missed these boys. It's really nice. It's been great watching them come up to the bigger distance, and we've definitely missed them.
You seem fairly relaxed, if I can put it that way. Are you 100% full of self-belief? Is there a little bit of doubt? Is there work to do? Where are you at coming into it mentally?
I feel good. Like, the run legs are there. I've been on the time trial bike about 7 times. Swim's gone real well. I'm real stoked with how that's going. Com Games was fantastic. I was stoked. Everyone was like, how the heck did he swim like that? That was myself too. So if I could pull out a swim like that and feel good past the 60-kilometre mark, and hopefully, can have a good run.
Collins Cup returns. 3 into 1 does not go, but who will stand tallest at the end of the day?
These are the best professionals in the world. Once that gun goes off, it is all business.
And this man next, Hayden Wilde. He's making his debut as the man from New Zealand, 24 years of age, and he's so cool, he's so calm. Cannot wait to see what he does.
Hayden Wilde, well, what a season he's had. So close to getting that Commonwealth Games gold medal.
A very motivated, young, short course athlete says, I have no respect for these long distance athletes, and the Kiwi is now in the lead. Hayden Wilde is taken over from Ben Canute.
I guess the takeaways from Collins Cup was ride the TT bike a bit more. Be a little bit more aerodynamic as well.
Back and forth between the international team and the US. Ben Canute only knows one way to race for him, and that is at the very front.
I went from pushing like 300 plus watts to then struggling to push 220 watts. And then I got off the bike. It felt like I had daggers in my glutes because I've only ridden the TT bike, 8 times. And then, I got onto the run, was absolute fire for like 12K, and then everything just shut down and I was running like 4-minute pace.
We said it was a match-up of the Olympic Games when Christian came out with the gold and Hayden the bronze, and we'll have to see what position Hayden takes as we approach the finish line of match 7.
We know that this is not his standard distance. He is a sprint and Olympic distance athlete. He's raced a couple of times over this distance, but many, many years ago now. So wonderful, wonderful race from the young Hayden Wilde from New Zealand.
I think I was just so depleted, so it wasn't really that pleasant. In retrospect, it was actually a good day out for what I was like about 2 weeks before that race. So yeah, I've had an average experience at a 100K distance. I'd like to redo that and get back into it.
Oh, no, that's good. Oh, that's a beautiful one. Did you get that?
See that? Oh,
Yeah.
So it's Pounamu, and you can only get it from the South Island. For the Māori translation, it's a greenstone. And you just walk down the west coast and you can find it in the rivers, and then you take it to like a carver and then they can make it, but you can't buy it for yourself, you must be gifted it. So that's a big thing. Like if you go to the store and someone has to gift you it, you can't just go, I'm gonna buy it for myself. I'll show you my here we go. So these are my signature series glasses that I made with Sun God, and it's the same thing. I made it like jade Pounamu.
Oh, okay.
It's got my logo and stuff, but I tried to resemble it the same as Pounamu. Cool, eh? So I wore those yesterday.
Put them on?
7 a.m.
Yeah, 7 a.m. 7 a.m. speed.
He's gone. 5 hours later, he's still working on his bike.
That's fine. Not with your bike too much.
And then he's all grumpy because he still needs to do all his training in the afternoon.
That was a bit more than I thought.
I don't think my training, for the step up to the T100 series, I don't think my training has changed too much as an Olympic distance athlete. Like, the swim is relatively the same just get onto the bike, on the TT bike a little bit more. Obviously, we're riding for about 90 minutes, so it's not a heck of a lot more than we normally do in Olympic distance, just that extra time on the TT bike with some different efforts. And then the run, like, you can kind of wing an 18K run. You know, it's 3K less than a half marathon, more or less, so that kind of gives you a bit more leeway. And they're running relatively quick as well, so just pacing a little bit more nicely at the first few K, but then you can kind of rip at the end. So yeah, it's an interesting distance, and I feel like it caters an Olympic distance athlete to step up a lot easier than, say, someone coming down to it.
Need to get used to it. But yeah, it's pretty. Well, for some reason I think I like starting.
Yeah, so the first T100 series in 2024 I watched quite closely because I knew I was going to be racing in 25. From the outside looking in, it looked like the swim is still super aggressive. You have to be on the bike, you know, they're pushing like the minimum is 5 watts per kg. You're running between that 306, 305, 3012 pace for the 18K is pretty impressive as well. Yeah, that's what my takes were, and it just looks like it's just full gas until one person blows up and then another person blows up. Then the last man standing, pretty much. I think that's what I got out of it. Yeah, I think there'll be a bit of spice and a bit of rivalry in the T100 series. You can play mind games on the run. It's like classic, like what Martin did in Ibiza. Like, it was played well. Like, he just waited for 3K to go and it went bang. Like, it was so good to watch.
Yeah, as we see Martin Van Riel taking the lead for the first time.
The move, Vicky. Martin Van Riel has made a move. Sam Laidlaw, he can't hold on. Is this the decisive move of the day?
You know, it might just be one of those ones where I just sit on someone's shoulder for like 16K and wait for 2K to go. It's going to be interesting. I think like you can definitely make a little bit of beef out of this T100 series. I think it'll be a bit of fun.
Hayden Wilde obviously will be there doing T100.
Yeah, with Morgan actually, I was quite surprised.
The beef between Yella and Morgan is, it's interesting.
I was listening to Yelligin's podcast he made. I felt like he was kind of like, Morgan shouldn't have been invited. And I was like a bit like, dude, come on, like it was kind of insulting to me.
170.3 Worlds took down Hayden Wilde. I guess he's just in that phase where he can say and do what he wants. Like, he's the big dog.
Yeah, like, you know, I think triathlon's relatively PG, and to get some character within the sport would be pretty sick.
Just waiting for the big boy to turn up. Pissed me off, and he's made me pissed off in a good way. Might have woken up the one thing I kind of needed. So,
hey, if anyone wants to start some beef with me, I'm more than happy. Like, and everyone knows I get pretty aggressive, so we'll see what happens. Now I'm looking forward to racing Martin. He's super complete. He's really aggressive on the swim. He's really aggressive on the bike. And he runs really well. It's going to be really hard to crack him in a sense. But like, I'm super excited to give him a good run for his money. You know, he's the series world champion from last year, and you know, he showed us that, you know, you've got to be strong at all three to win races. You know, some races he just made it look super comfortable, but some races he was pushed to the very limit. So now I'm looking forward to racing Martin and pushing him to the limit again. For me, the target for the T100 series is obviously to win the series. I don't want to go into the T100 series making numbers. Not there to hide and not there to just sit in the back and just wait for the last few hundred meters. I'm there to race and race hard and make everyone, you know, push their limits.
I'm a king in the game, but you know that. Get it when I want it, I can control that. Ice in my veins, you can call it a cold stack. Take a step back and you know that I'll show that. Yeah, it's in my blood. Came from the bottom, I was living in the mud. I've been working so hard, only ever moving up. Ain't nothing you can do that'll make me stop.
Obviously the pace is going to be hot. I also want to try and find my limits as well.
Smile in the face of the enemy. Won't listen to the words you said to me. Don't call me a dog.
I've heard that a lot of people are just like super aggressive in the racing. Who I'm looking forward to racing in the T100 series is actually quite a lot of people. Morgan Pearson, for example, like a sniff on that run, you know, he's going to hunt you down.
Show you how the boss of the game's going to win it.
Martin will also try and do the same thing in the water and then try and push on the bike and drop me as well. Yella will be the run battle, I think.
And Yellowgains has made these hills look easy all day compared to everyone else.
So hopefully I can be one of those guys that is influential in moving the sport, you know, relatively hard. I just want to make the sport exciting. I don't want to go to a race and win easily. I want to put myself into the hurt locker and use that training that I've used and apply that into the racing. It looks like it's going to be hard work, but I'm up to the challenge and it should be fun.
Show you how the boss of the game's going to win it.
No rest
The stage is set.
for the wicked.
The athletes are ready.
Dark deeds hidden in the shadow.
The T100 series is only getting harder,
What's hell?
bringing together the best in the sport. Each one with one goal in mind: victory.
That means death if you're cursed or
Hayden Wilde. Will his debut shock the field? Is this Gentle's time to reign? Both athletes poised to claim their destiny.
cloak and dagger.
With an army of the world's best athletes trying to stop them.
Smoke and mirrors.
Every athlete is determined to win and will put everything on the line. New drama, new races,
Smoke and mirrors.
and a new world champion.
How am I?
And the battle starts in some of the tour's most challenging conditions.
Oh,